Miko. The Dallas Stars win in Game 7 against the Colorado Avalanche, and a Mikko Rantanen hat trick occurred in AAC. It was electric. The third period was wild. We're going to get into all of it on today's episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, a Texas hockey podcast on Apollo Media's podcast network. Oh, man, last night was a joy. I could not fall asleep. It was 1 a.m. before I got to go to sleep. I just couldn't do it. But the Stars win in Game 7, Round 1. They advanced to Round 2 to face off against the Winnipeg Jets or the St. Louis Blues, which we will get into later this week on Clean Sheet of Ice. Clean Sheet of Ice is brought to you by Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. I hope you had a few Bloody Marys last night from Zing Zang, as I wish I could have, but they didn't have that in the press box. And obviously, you're probably not allowed to drink until after the game when they bring out the post-game beers. But Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. And shout out to Prize Picks. Use code Apollo when you sign up. Hit the more than on Mikko Rantanen points, assists, goals, all the things for Mikko Rantanen. Hit more than on Prize Picks using code Apollo when you sign up and get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. Man, what a game last night. I'm your host, Stone Strankman, joined always by Dom Garcia. How are we doing on this fine Sunday, May 4th at 10:15 a.m.?
Boy, oh boy. Last night, people joke. They go out and say, last night was a movie. Last night we got into it. We had a good time. We lived life. Man, last night, it wasn't just a movie. It was an Oscar-winning movie. It was Romeo and Juliet, Phantom of the Opera, whatever you want to call it, man. Last night was pure cinema in Dallas, Texas. And I believe somebody on this podcast called the Stars would win this series in 7 games. The theatrics, the thrills, the ups and the downs definitely gave me heart attacks. I wanted to vomit at times. I was happy at times. But boy, to be sitting here Sunday morning and say that Mikko Rantanen sent the Colorado Avalanche home, nobody saw it coming. What we did see was the Dallas Stars playing Dallas Stars hockey, and boy, was it a scene in American Airlines.
I've never been a part of a game like that before, outside of Game 6 of the World Series in 2022. Yordan Alvarez's home run in the 6th inning. I think that's the only comparable sporting event that I've been to that had that type of theatrics and that type of crowd pop. And that was in the 6th inning. There were still another 3 full innings to go. Like, you had plenty of chances to just go get 1 run to send it to extras, 2 runs to win the game. Like, this one was 2-0 with 12 minutes left, and it felt like it was over. The Astros series, that Game 6, it never felt like it was over, because if you lost, you had a Game 7 at home just the next day. Like, it was going to be fine. This one, it was do or die. And it's round 1, obviously. I get that. It's a different level of stakes than that World Series game. But the crowd, the players, the coaches, like, everything just went right with 12 minutes left in the game. I'm speechless. Like, it was hard to write the blog for Apollo HOU. Like, it's up on the website, apollohou.com. Game 7s are the best and worst things in all of sports as a sports fan. And I was writing it, and I was just like, I don't even know how to describe what just happened.
Like, you told this to me before we started. There are national media members that were saying, they've covered hockey forever, and this series is one of the craziest, wildest heavyweight matchups they've seen. And to finish like that, like, the WWE doesn't have writers that could write a story like this. Each game having its own tale and so many angles and parts, and the fans had their own fights with each other. The players had their own fights with each other. Like, this was just absurd. And it's why hockey is my favorite sport, because there's really no other sport where you have this kind of cinema. Baseball has its moments, football has its moments, and Final Fours are great. Combat sports are great, but the space that hockey has, it's truly why it's one of the best games you can watch.
I'm impressed that hockey isn't like the second most popular sport in America. Like, I get basketball's accessible. You got the faces of the league. You don't have to wear helmets, and You're not flying around the ice, and there's only 5 guys on the court at one time. I get it. Social media, I get it. But there's nothing comparable to playoff hockey. There never has been, and there never will be in any sport, in any fashion, with any player in the world. Like, playoff hockey is, like you said, it's a movie. It's an Oscar-nominated movie. You couldn't script this series any better. Obviously, you get Colorado versus Dallas, the Mikko Rantanen Bowl. He comes back to them and says, I'll take 12 million a year. That'll get it done. I'll stay here. I'll be here for the rest of my career. I'll never leave. And they're like, 3 days later, you're going to Carolina, bud. Carolina then sends him to Dallas after 13 games. And now he's on a rival of the Colorado Avalanche where he did not want to leave, mind you. Did not want to leave. He was there for 10 years. He never wanted to leave. He was a Stanley Cup champion there. Assistant captain, all the things. And then Gabriel Landeskog hasn't played hockey in 3 years. And the only time where they come back after 3 years or more was when World War II was happening and the players went to war and came back and played NHL hockey. It's never been done before. Their captain comes back. That's cinematic in its own self. Like, obviously, first game he comes back, they win that game. He gets a goal. Like, you just couldn't script anything better. Like, people could not write that story and how it played out. But let's get into the game itself. First period happens. The Stars won faceoffs, hits, and block shots in the first period. I noticed that looking up at the little scoreboards in the corners. And I was like, all right, we're not playing too bad. We got a power play 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the game, which a lot of ex-players have said that's not a good thing necessarily. Like, it helps the other team. If they kill off that penalty, they gain all the momentum. They get into the game, whereas you haven't gotten all your guys on the ice yet, 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the game. So they're not even like warm yet. And now you have all the pressure to go score a goal. And that power play just kind of amounted to nothing. But the first period, it was a game 7. Shots were 5-4 after the first period. There was nothing like quality on net. There weren't really great saves. Like, you had a 4-minute power play from Colorado. Jamie, Jamie, you can get this once a series from Jamie Benn. Game 7, however, I didn't want it at that time. He did high stick, cross-checked, whatever you want to call it, Nichushkin into the face, in the crease. Just after some actually decent shots. Like, that was the one time that the Stars had really good shots on goal in the first period. And cross-checked Nichushkin in the face, ex-teammate, mind you. He was mic'd up for the game last night. And I was looking up at the scoreboard. They kind of showed the replay, and you can see Jamie mouth the words, get up, you fucking bitch, to Nichushkin. So that was game 7. It was a 4-minute power play for Colorado, and it amounted to nothing. The PK just was masterclass. It was incredible.
Yeah, and there was a lot of momentum. Dev, I could hear the crowd when that PK was killed, because prior to that, both the fans had no idea what to expect, and the players. That the start of this game was a lot like when there's an MMA fight and there's 2 guys that have the same style, and because they're masters at striking or grappling, they don't want to use that style. So they kind of have to feel, all right, is he going to make the first move? Am I going to lean back? And who's going to do that push and pull? And that's what that felt like. It was, I want to say that first period for both ends did not have a lot of shots. But Dallas, it felt like we were still pressuring them very well. And it felt like Colorado was kind of trying to ride the wave. And I think that's what you could ask for, because when Colorado enters the game with their foot on the gas, that's when you get into some deep, deep waters.
Yeah. Second period came around, and that's when it started. That's when I felt like I'm going to die. Like, game 7 alone, like, the anxiety and the stress and the heart rate and everything is just jumping before the game starts, during the first period, during the second period. And you're like, God, if we could just get that first goal, it feels so good. Like, the first goal was going to be so important for whoever won this game. Stars get a power play. Just a little over 11 minutes left in the second period. And you're like, okay, settle into this one. We can put some shots on net. Even if you don't score, just put a quality power play together and see what happens. Get clean passes, offensive zone time, all the things, clean entries. You didn't get any of that. You finally had the puck in the zone. They send it over on the boards towards Thomas Harley. Thomas Harley, I don't know if he fumbled it or it was just a bad pass. I couldn't tell from the angle I was sitting in. I was in the auxiliary section for that in the press box, which was not in the press box. It was hard to see. Couldn't tell. Logan O'Connor then just skates down the ice, pushes it forward down the boards. He outskates Harley, which rarely happens. O'Connor was really fast this whole series, I will say. Did a lot of really good things. And he was able to get it across the ice over to Manson for pretty much a wide open net. And it's a shorty, and it's 1-0. And the crowd is gone at this point. It's debilitating. A shorthanded goal is debilitating for the players on the ice, and it's exhilarating for the other team that gets the shorthanded goal. And then the crowd's just gone. And at that point, I was like, I don't know how you win this game. And I know it's early. You still had 30 minutes plus of game time left. Like, all you had to do is get one, and then you can go to overtime. And then seeing what happens in overtime against this team in the playoffs 5-on-5, like, you feel pretty comfortable. But that one goal is a shorthanded goal, and it just sucked the life out of, you could tell, the players and the crowd. And it was debilitating. I was so down in the dumps.
Yeah. So watching this on the broadcast, I think it was game 5 where we get that go-ahead goal, or maybe game 6. I can't remember completely because we just beat the Colorado Avalanche. But we get that go-ahead goal, and we're going into the third, and it just feels like if we can survive 20 minutes, we're actually going to beat these guys without 2 of our best players. And when we scored that go-ahead goal, the Colorado fan base was radio silent in that building.
It was Mikko, wasn't it, game 6?
I think so. And it was just like there was no juice. The players were kind of like, good Lord, this can't be happening. It kind of got flipped at that moment. Like it kind of like that. The crowd was just stunned. They had been doing a great job. ESPN actually showed the national anthem. So I got to hear the Stars chant, and boy, is it always fun to hear. But yeah, like the mental lapse that was in that shorty was highlighted, and I was just like, good Lord, that can't happen in game 1, much less game 7.
Yeah, I was talking to Sam Nessler, DLLS, after I moved into the press box after Owen Newkirk of DLLS left to go to the studio to get ready for the podcast that they do right after the game. And I was like, both teams are pretty tentative, like through 2 periods. Like there hasn't been any like, okay, I got this. Like, I'm just going to go shoot the puck. Everyone was like taking a half second more or a full second more to decide what they were going to do. And that led to either pucks into a scrum or pucks getting out of the zone. And it was just, both teams were tentative. No team wanted to go take it at that point. And obviously the shorthanded goal, they went and took it because he went down the ice and he's out of position. He's supposed to be playing defense. It's a power play. Like, you need to go kill the penalty, but best way to kill a penalty is go get a shorty. You still had like a minute and 15, minute 20 on the power play. I was like, all right, just even it up, and I feel way better. Like, I just would be like, all right, we can still win this game easily. They didn't do that. The power play was bad. You had 2 bad power plays, and you're like, golly, not the time for the power play to just not do anything and give up a shorthanded goal. Like, can't have that happen. Then you get to the 3rd period. So I'm in the press box now. Feel much better. Feel much more comfortable, kind of near my seat that I was in all season long. I was like, all right. Vibes can shift here. 20 seconds into the period, Nichushkin gets bumped by Jamie Benn. They call interference, I believe. So the goalie leaves. Nathan McKinnon comes onto the ice, 6-on-5. And I'm like, all right, just get to the PK. Like, I'll be fine. Like, our PK is so good. Like, they haven't been good on the power play. They were 3 for 22, mind you, this series on the power play. People don't like to talk about that when the Colorado fans are bitching about the refs all series. When you get 22 power plays and you only score 3 of them, it's your own damn fault. 3rd period, Nathan McKinnon comes off the bench. He gets the puck with speed, skates around Wyatt Johnston, pretty much has open ice, and from the left side, from the left face-off slot, and just fires it on net at Jake Oettinger. And Otter was in good position. He had to get over there quick. He was over on the left side of the post, and had to get to the right post, and he got over there, but he wasn't like fully set when Nathan shot it, and McKinnon scores, and it's 2-0, and the crowd at this point is gone, all the way gone. There's nothing left in that crowd when Nathan McKinnon scored and made it 2-0.
And that's when the Colorado fans really took to Twitter, and they thought they had won this series. And it's tough because there was only 3 inches of net that was open on that side. And, Nathan McKinnon's one of the best players in the world, and he finds those 3 inches. It is what it is. Honestly, it was a beautiful, kind of setup for them, just flying, no wasted movement, right off the bench, right into that angle. He pops it in, and Otter didn't fold though. Like, what gets lost in this game is that Jake Oettinger really dialed it in, and there were stretches to where God, our team was leaning on him, and boy, did he come up big time in moments. And when the net's clogged, Jake Oettinger still has great vision and great eyes.
That was 31 seconds into the period. So there is 19:29 left in the game, in game 7, season on the line. And you're sitting there like, God, can we just go get one and get the crowd a little bit juiced? Like, how does that happen? And the next, I don't know, 6 minutes, nothing. Like, the Stars couldn't even get out of their defensive zone. Like, Colorado was dominating the game at that point. Offensive zone shift after offensive zone shift. They're changing players out in the offensive zone, getting new players on the ice while our guys are sitting out there with like a minute 10, minute 20, minute 30 left on their shift. Like, they're getting killed at this point. I'm like, all right. Me and Sam started talking about what they do in the offseason because DLS, they record every day. They go live every day. Like, so Monday through Friday, they were going to have to continue to go live throughout the summer, 5 days a week. And I was like, what do you talk about? He's like, I guess we just talk about the playoffs. Like, we're just going to do some watch-alongs and talk about the playoffs for a while. And then when that's over, then it's free agency, draft, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, sucks. It sucks that you're a Dallas podcast and you got to talk about everybody else. That's what I was in the mindset of at that point. Because I was like, we can't even get it out of the defensive zone. How are we going to go get a goal? Well, here comes Mikko Rantanen. He put the biggest backpack of all time on. He's going on a hike. He's hiking Mount Kilimanjaro. Like, he's doing Mount Everest. Like, he's doing it all by himself. That first goal, he started double and triple shifting. So he would go on for 2 shifts at a time. So we had 2 different lines out there with him. He would go on the bench for 1 shift, and then he would come back out with like the 4th liners. So he's on the ice with the 4th liners at this point. Oscar back. I believe Sam Steele was out there with him. And I was sitting there, I was like, this guy is incredible. Like, how do you not just run out of gas? And at this point, he gets the puck from Oscar back in between the blue lines. And I'm like, all right, let's just see what happens. There's a lot of free ice there, surprisingly, in between the 2 defenders. They didn't pinch for some reason. So there's still a little bit of open ice in the middle. And he just skates right down the middle. And he fires a shot, bar down, right side on Blackwood. And all of a sudden, the crowd is back. Not all the way back, but I would say at least 80% back. Like, they're juiced. It's still 2-1. There's 12 minutes left in the game. Is there a way? Is there a possibility that they can go get that tying goal when we go to overtime and then Matt Duchene, Mikko Rantanen, someone, an ex-Colorado Avalanche sends them home again for the 2nd straight year? It's possible. It's possible at this point. I didn't know how to feel, but that shot was nuts. Just open ice, and he sent it bar down on a goalie that has made incredible save after incredible save this series. He's been locked in for most of the series. He hasn't let in bad goals except for game 5. And you're just sitting there like, all right, there's a chance. 12 minutes left. You can go get a goal. It's possible.
Yeah. And I had the Spit and Chicklets live stream on. And before the goal happens, they're like, wait a minute. Is Mikko Rantanen on a line with Oscar Beck right now? What the hell is going on? And then he's like, there's been so many times, his tenure with the Dallas Stars has been very brief, but he's at his best when he controls the pace and he slows everything down and just lethal, man. We'll get into it later, but there was a moment where I told myself, I had the Mikko Rantanen jersey in my Fanatics account. It was ready to be purchased, and I am waiting to buy it in person because it's going to be a scene. But like, the fact that this guy is going to live in the minds of Avs fans now in a bad light is crazy. And the fact that he's going to be a star for 7-8 seasons is even crazier. Like, it was when that goal goes in, the broadcasters were like, all right, boys, we got a game. Like, they knew, like, Colorado can only keep this juice for so long. And if they open up the door for that building to erupt, it's going to be tough to come back.
Yeah. I mean, Mikko's at his best, like you said, when he takes control, but also when he plays a lot of minutes. When he was playing for Colorado, I think he averaged over 21, almost 22 minutes a game. And since he's come to the Stars, he's on a line with Rupe Hintz. And Rupe Hintz does not have a ton of ice time. He takes short shifts. It's 35, 40 seconds or less. He's not going to stay on the ice extra if he doesn't need to. Mikko, if that's a conversation he had with DeBoer or Spot or whoever it is on the Stars bench, like, I play better when I play a lot. Just like I can get into it better. And he starts to staying on the shifts a little bit longer, even if Robo, Rupe, or whoever's on the top line leaves the ice after 35, 45 seconds. He'll be out there for a minute 15, and then he'll come off. And then the extra winger will come back out for the second line or the third line, whoever goes out there. And he's at his best when he plays a lot of minutes. And when he started doing that in the third period, the good things started happening. So then about 6 minutes left in the game. The Stars are on a power play. Makar tripped one of our guys. I can't remember who it was. And they were on the power play when that happened. So that was huge. Then it goes to 4-on-4 for 20-ish, 30-ish seconds maybe. And then the Stars have a power play. And you're like, all right. We can do this. Just stop at 4-on-4. Don't let another 4-on-4 goal happen like they did earlier in the season with Nichushkin. And I was like, all right, we have a good amount of power play to work with here. The power play is starting to dwindle. There's about 28, 30 seconds left in the power play. And I'm like, God, they haven't done anything. They can't get it in the zone. They can't get any shots on net. And I was like, that's not good. The power play looked so disjointed at this point. Mikko Rantanen gets the puck on the left side of the ice, skates it through the blue lines to the right side of the ice, and then back over to the left side of the ice. And the best play of the series, I would argue, is Sam Steele going through the ice with Mikko Rantanen and taking out two Avalanche players at one time. And it was a pick play, but it wasn't. Like, it wasn't a blatant, just like, hey, I'm going to stop right here and take these two guys. He cleared so much ice for Mikko Rantanen on that one. Or no, that was the first goal. Sorry. He did that on the first goal of Mikko. But then Mikko gets the puck, like I said, left side of the ice. He skates it in. There's no one else on the Stars that are past the blue line at this point. He is the only offensive player past the blue line for the Dallas Stars. There's 3 Colorado Avalanche players right there. He skates by all of them, goes behind the net, does a wraparound. He gets clipped by Blackwood on the right side of the post.
Yep.
It's falling down, and he just sends it, and it goes off of Gerard's skate. You create your own puck luck. It is earned. It is not given. He created his own puck luck. He did what he had to do. He put the team on his fucking back. Like I've never seen someone do that before in a series, like, at all. I've never seen a player just like, I got it, guys. Don't worry. I got you guys. 1-on-3, no offensive players in the zone. Tyler Seguin starts trailing. That puck somehow sneaks in. It goes off of Gerard's skate, goes right into the net. Blackwood's nowhere near the net at this point. He's still on the right side trying to get back up after he clipped Mikko. And it's 2-2, and the crowd's just bananas at this point.
Yeah, and I've watched this replay maybe 300 times.
Yeah.
Only Moose would know. I think he intentionally put it on the skate of that Colorado defender.
Like, I don't know if he did, but I'll ask him next week if I can get to
like it. You watch it and tell me you don't get a feeling of he's the only one that would know, mind you, but like, that was a play that you trade whatever you need to. You trade the house to get that guy in, and you don't. I saw Colorado Avalanche fans go, you don't let a guy that good leave. Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't happen. My Astros right now don't have Kyle Tucker, and it's showing. It's showing. Like, these guys don't grow on trees. And to start this series with Mikko, he never played bad. I don't want to hear he played bad. I just want to hear that he was just in a rut, and to come alive in game 6 and 7 in a way he did. So many like records were broken by him in this series. Like, this was just cinema, man. Like, Showtime, like HBO needs to make, they did the Showtime Lakers. They've done other series before, but a hockey series is coming. And if you want to make a fictional Dallas Stars team and write a script, it's going to make a great movie, because that series and that game was just unhinged.
It was just insane. I don't know if he meant to send it off the skate. I truly think he was falling down and just a desperation dive, trying to wrap his stick around and just have a chance at it, like bouncing off of a skate or bouncing off of Blackwood's pad. Like that had to have been the idea because Sagan starts trailing, but there's a Colorado defender a lot closer. So even if that puck sneaks through Gerard's legs and goes towards Sagan, I think the Colorado guy gets it, and there's no chance at that goal going in. That happens. And then, I don't know, a few minutes later, it didn't take too long. It was like 2 minutes maybe. Drury just yanked Sagan down in front of the net, like grabs his full shoulder and arm and just starts pulling him down. Avs fans I've seen and their broadcast and their radio show, like everyone was bitching about that call. I was like, I agree that Game 7 and the Stanley Cup playoffs alone should not have too many penalty calls. But when that happens, when he's nowhere near the puck's not even getting sent to him at any moment in time. He gets yanked around and pulled down to the ground by his arm. You have to call that. And it's the worst time for a penalty. We said that about Mason Marchment in game 3, I believe, or game 2. He's like, you can't have that penalty happen at the end of the third period with a minute left and double minor. Like, you got to go, I think it was game 2, and you got to go kill that penalty. And it's just like ill-timed, and you can't have that happen, especially when the momentum has absolutely flipped the other way. You've had all the momentum for 20 plus minutes at that point, maybe 30, and all of a sudden, all the momentum is gone, and they are on the power play, and it's power play 1. Dutchy, Wyatt, Mikko, Thomas Harley, and Rupe. Like, that line's out there. I'm like, all right, if they score here, it is beyond over because the crowd is just going to go nuts. It was 10, 15 seconds into the power play. Thomas Harley sends it over to Mikko. Mikko sends it quickly over to Dutchy on the left post. Dutchy has a little bit of open ice. He sends it cross crease with the hottest pass I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, it could not have been hotter. It was so fast and hard, but he knew he had to do that to get it past their sticks and through the crease without Blackwood being able to see it. And Wyatt Johnston gets it in between his legs. He gets his stick on it, has to adjust, go back with his skates a little bit, and he sends that puck into the net. And the little bunny hop after is a celebration. The crowd is just, but it's I've never heard it louder. And I keep saying that this whole series. I've never heard it louder. I truly haven't at that point. I hope I hear it louder in June, before June 23rd, because I don't want to go to a Game 7 in Stanley Cup Finals. But I've never heard it louder. And it's 3-2 in a matter of minutes. This game was over. I'm going home for the summer without Dallas Stars hockey. I'm not going to AAC for months at this point. I'm like, this sucks, man. And then all of a sudden, Wyatt Johnston from Mikko Rantanen and Matt Duchene sends the Stars into a frenzy. A whole bench, everything is just insane at this point. It's pure elation. And you're up 3-2 with, 4 minutes left, just under 4 minutes left in the game. Insane.
I recommend everybody go. I think it was the Dallas Stars official Twitter page. They had a camera on Peter DeBoer, and we all know he's always Mr. Calm, cool, collected. He gave a fist bump and just an adulation. Like, I've only seen Jim Nill do this once when I was at the Stars Golden Knights game when Oettinger makes a save that's like top 5 of the entire NHL season, where it's just unreal. And if Jim Nill's doing that, the momentum is on our side. Wyatt Johnston, man, is this his second Game 7 go-ahead winner?
He's the first player in NHL history to have multiple Game 7 game-winning goals before the age of 22. He's scored in 3 Game 7s in his career.
This is like Juan Soto level of like young of an, like, Wyatt Bill, like the dude's a baby. He
lived with Pavs for 2 years.
Like, as far as being an adult, and he's just going out there just in the highest of moments performing. The kid's incredible. He's also playing all the time, like him and Thomas Harley. I felt like Thomas Harley was on the ice all night. Like, I don't know how many minutes he logged, but yeah.
I thought we lost him at one point in the third period too. That crash into the boards where he's like spread-legged. He grabbed his knee immediately. I was like, no, dude, if that happens, it's really over, because you're down 2-0 at that point too. But yeah, Wyatt just Mr. Game 7. What else can you say about the kid?
Absolutely, man. He got a bobblehead this year. I watched him score a hat trick in person. The dude's box office now.
He's still 21. He turned 22 soon,
It's
but
crazy.
21 years old. It's 3 Game 7 goals, 2 Game 7 game-winning goals from Wyatt Johnston, and then the empty net masterclass from Jake Oettinger. I know we've said his name a few times tonight, but he was unreal. He faced 27 shots, only allowed, and he had 25 saves. I think it was like a 925 save percentage, and it's just under 2 minutes, maybe a minute 30, minute 40 left in the game. They go empty net, and you're like, can we just get it out of the zone? Like, I'd rather just ice the puck if you're going to miss the net. Like, we just get it out of the zone, give Otter some rest, give the defense, Essa Lindell some rest, Thomas Harley some rest. Like, can we just get it out of the zone and not have any high danger chances? But it didn't really matter because Jake Oettinger made the most fuck you saves I've ever seen in my life. Like, the one where he gloves it and just holds it straight in the air was just like, you're not winning this game. You are going home for the summer. Go find your golf clubs and head to Cabo already. This game's over. I'm not allowing it to go to overtime. It was the most just incredible moment out of that game. And that's saying something because Mikko Rantanen, obviously, like Mikko Rantanen was the story of that game, but Jake Oettinger had the best moment, I believe, in that game with the empty net. He made 2 just box office saves in the locker room afterwards. He was done with his presser. He turned to me and Sam and he goes, "Hey, fans got what they paid for, right?" And just walked out. And I was like, that people say aura a lot of the time. He's got aura. He's got all the aura.
He's what, 6'5", handsome, great smile, unbelievable
great at
player.
golf too. Like he's good at everything.
Like you want your daughter to date him. Like he's the guy. And so many just NHL fans, like they'll look at the metrics and they'll try to find these advanced stats and tell you that Jake Oettinger is not a top 10 goalie. He's not this elite player that you think he is. But when the game's on the line, we had a goalie that was blue. He was a blue chip, absolute blue chip. And Colorado's net mining played as good as they played above their skill level, if I'm being honest. Like they play great. It's just our stars canceled out their stars, and then our depth showed, and then Jake Oettinger shined. Like we know he does. He's in Dallas for a long time. Love the kid, and boy, was that little English on that puck was floating in his glove when he saved it.
He's been in 3 Game 7s so far in his career. He's only allowed 6 goals.
Nuts.
It's like a 950 save percentage. I think he had like 62 saves against the Calgary Flames. I know it was a loss, but 62 saves in a Game 7 as a rookie that year, I believe, or his second year. Like, he just is unreal. And I think that moment last night, him just holding that puck up in the air, like, you're going home, boys. It's over. Cemented himself as your Game 1 starter for Team USA in Milan next year. After what we've seen from Hellebuck, I don't know if you can put him out there. In a big game, when it really matters, when your team needs a win, your goaltender has to stand on his head. That's how every team wins the Stanley Cup final. Every team has to have their goaltender stand on his head, regardless of how many goals are on the board at certain points. And that empty net, 6-on-5 opportunities. They've already scored on 1 6-on-5, mind you, in the game. 31 seconds into the second period, they scored. He said, "No, it's over. I'm going to be Team USA starter. I'm going to go to the next round, and you're going to go home." That's what he said when he had those saves. And then, then the time is dwindling, and I'm like, all right, we're good. 3-2, it's fine. Like, I'm completely content with 3-2. Obviously, I want the Mikko hat trick. I do. I just, for the storybook ending, I need the Mikko hat trick. And then Mikko almost gets the puck out of the zone off the draw. Like, they win the draw. He goes and fights for the puck, and he thought he knocked it loose. He didn't. So he's in between the blue lines at this point. The other guys, I think it was Blackwell and Sagan were out there. It was a very weird group. But someone knocks it a little bit loose. Sagan then goes to the free ice. He's able to get it away from the Colorado defender and just send it up off the boards. He just bounces it, a little geometry lesson off the boards. And Mikko Rantanen was just, he wasn't cherry picking. He was trying to get back, but He saw that happening. He turned around, saw the puck off the boards, and sent it into the net with 2.7 seconds left for a hat trick. First hat trick I've ever seen in person, by the way. I know you saw one earlier this year with Wyatt, and I got to see one with Mikko Rantanen in the fucking Stanley Cup playoffs in round 1 against his former team. The hats were flying, and they continue to fly after they picked all of them up, and they closed the boards back up after the guys came out and got all the hats off the ice, and there was still more flying, and then the ref had to go pick it up and throw it back over the boards. Like, come on, guys. Like, pure elation was the only way to describe that. Relief, elation, ecstatic. Like, the crowd was just bananas, especially when it's Mikko. And from what we heard on the broadcast, obviously I didn't hear it until after the game, but Pierre LeBrun said it in the press room while we were waiting on the board to come out. And he's like, apparently Ray Ferraro on the broadcast said that Mikko Rantanen said along the lines of, how about that, Colorado, as he skated past him after his empty net hat trick goal. He said he couldn't say what Mikko Rantanen actually said. So it was probably a lot of fuck yous and isn't that fucking right? Like, don't you fucking miss me? Those kinds of things. Like, bet you wish you had me right now. Like, and it's not directed at the players. I know it's at Colorado, but it's more so towards the front office. It's not towards those guys. But Mikko Rantanen, hat trick in Game 7 against his former team, the Colorado Avalanche. We've just beat the best team in the Western Conference Finals, or in the Western Conference remaining outside of us, I believe. Like, you can do that in Game 7. You can do that against anyone.
Yeah, man. And, the hats were flying on the ice before the goal even goes in. Like, that's how
they started going.
That's how awesome it was. And then, like, the best part about it was, and you're right, if you go back and watch the replay, you can't hear what he's saying, but he's definitely chirping as he's going. That's the best part, was the way it was scripted. Was he scores that goal, he has to go past Colorado's bench on the goals that are scored. And it was like we always said, it was a movie. And Nathan McKinnon post game, he's like, God, I don't know what more we can do. When a guy's playing like that, it's just an all-time performance. And we put it out there. We threw our best shot, and they threw a bigger one. And Peter DeBoer's confidence and his coolness, which as a human, that's hard to, like, I can't believe he's so calm when I'm 300 miles away and I'm not calm. So to see him just be stone-faced while we're down 0-2 was crazy. And then to see the emotion come back, it was awesome, man. And to do this without two players we know would have made a difference and don't even touch the ice, and we still beat a team that good, it's got to build so much confidence going for the rest of the playoffs. Boy, was last night fun.
And Mikko Rantanen, he had 1 point through the first 4 games. And it was a very important point. It was an assist, a secondary assist on the game-winning goal in Game 3 in Colorado. Like, it was a big moment, but it was only 1 point. You're like, I know he just got here. He's got to figure out the system. He's got to figure out the lines. Who's he going to play with? Like, we got injuries. Like, there's a lot of things just going against you at this point. And Mikko Rantanen in Game 7 with 12 minutes left decided that he was going to be the best player on the ice that night for either team and put the team on his back and say, boys, we're not done. He said in his post-game presser that after that second goal went in for Colorado, that he and all the other guys on the bench were just like calm. And they were like, let's just keep doing it, boys. Let's get after it. Go get pucks on net. We're going to win this game. Like, they were just so confident when that happens. And obviously the crowd is just not there. He thanked the crowd multiple times. He said the crowd was a huge part of that team winning that game. Without the crowd, they probably don't win that. Pete DeBoer said the same thing. And the importance of having Game 7 at home is significantly higher than anyone could ever imagine. You don't win that game if you're not in an American Airlines Center, is what he said. And the Avs, I mean, they were 3 for 22 on the power play this series. They were 0 for 3 last night. They had a double minor early in the game. Like, that game should have been over by any means of the possibilities. Like, it was very similar to Edmonton, Dallas last season. Like, they just couldn't score on the power play, and they lost the series because of it. And the Stars ended up going 2 for 4 on the power play. I thought penalties were pretty fair. There was flops all season or all series, and from both teams. I'm not going to deny that we didn't have our fair share of flops. They had their fair share of flops, and they had their fair share of puck luck. We had our fair share of puck luck, and it was the most even series you could have ever imagined, but the best player on the ice in Game 7 was the player that they had earlier this season. And that is just the funniest thing. He had 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points in the series. He had 2 back-to-back 4-point games with a hat trick and assist last night. He had 2 goals, 2 assists in Game 6. Like, put the team on his motherfucking back. And we were saying it in January. We're like, the Stars don't have a superstar. You have to go get a superstar if it's at the deadline or if it's this offseason. You have to go find a guy that can go just win you a game or a series by himself. And we saw that. It was obviously a lot of depth and a lot of different people scoring this series, but Mikko Rantanen, when it mattered most, stepped up 12 points in 7 games and really 12 points in 5 games. It's just, you couldn't script it any better, like you've said multiple times. No one could say it any more than that. It's incredible.
Like, I don't want to get too far ahead here, but if we get a healthy Jason Robertson back and we get Miro Heiskanen back, like if you're a fan of another team, much less the Western Conference, the Eastern Conference as well, Dallas is an absolute wagon now. If you got Mikko Rantanen playing like that, we always knew he was a playoff performer, but this just took it to a whole nother level. I mean, point per game in the playoffs and some, like, super good defensively as well, super underrated, a 200-foot player. Like, he looked really fast last night, man. And just
so fast.
Last night, the sporting world just witnessed an all-time. I mean, I've been watching hockey, I would say, not as a non-casual for about 5 years now. And last this whole series is top 5 for me, but that game, transcending sport, is like top 10 for me as far as I'm not going to forget this game ever.
It was insane. Stars winning Game 7 against Colorado Avalanche. Pete DeBoer 9-0 in Game 7. It's the most Game 7 wins of all time as an NHL head coach, and he's never lost. It's the craziest part. Colorado is 0-4 in their last 4 Game 7s. Bednar is 0-4. Cale Makar and Nathan MacKinnon have never won a Game 7. Mikko Rantanen had never won a Game 7 before this. Like, Colorado just cannot win in Game 7 against the Dallas Stars. That's 3, I think 3 or 4. I think that's their 4th Game 7 against each other since 1999, and the Stars have won all of them. It's different regimes, it's different jerseys, it's different arenas. Like, this is transcending like just one unit against the other. It is one franchise's history against the other, and the Stars dominate it in Game 7. It's unbelievable because me and Sam were sitting there like, we've watched a lot of good hockey this year, a lot of good hockey players, and we've never said, I can't believe that just happened. Outside of the Vancouver game, actually. That was the only other time. The Vancouver game when they scored 3 6-on-5 goals and went in overtime. That's the only time that we're like, I can't believe that happened. That was a different reason that we couldn't believe that happened. But Game 7, I mean, then in the presser, Pete DeBoer said, I expect to see both Miro Heiskanen and Jason Robertson in the next series. He can't guarantee if it's Game 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, but you're going to see both of them in the next series more than likely. I think Robo is less likely. If I had to guess, that Robo would be very late in the series if he comes back. But I think Miro's pretty close. And if we're not starting until Wednesday, I think we got a pretty good shot of him playing Game 2 for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I got to tip my cap to Pete DeBoer because there's probably other coaches that would have tried to rush Miro Heiskanen out there.
Absolutely.
Like 100%. And, you know, he took it on the chin when a lot of people are asking, like, hey, man, we don't think you could beat Colorado without Miro Heiskanen. And he's like, no, I know what we have. I know the type of game we have to play. It's going to take a different type of effort, but I think we can do it. And so Jim Nill's in that category where I can never judge any move he makes ever. Peter DeBoer has joined that club. Like, even if it logically you don't think it's the right decision, you can't second guess anything these guys make because this is a top level organization and they make top level decisions.
Yeah, I really did think we were going to see Miro this series based on what we saw in practice and him skating for that long and everything. I was like, he's got a really good shot. He started skating March 30th or 31st. So it's just been over a month. And you're like, all right, when are we going to see this guy? Like, I feel like it's time. But he's still technically not cleared by doctors, regardless of how he feels or how Pete DeBoer feels. And that is the last hurdle. He has to get cleared by doctors. And if he gets cleared this week, then all of a sudden we see him in round 2 pretty early on. Still some hurdles. Still got to get there. But if DeBoer is saying that we're probably going to see both of them next series, we're probably going to see both of them next series. Because he's not going to say that. Because he didn't say that in round 1 at all. He was like, he put it to bed before game 7, like 2 days before. He's like, you're not seeing Miro game 7 or Robo. Like, just don't even ask about it. So the fact that he said that after a game 7 win is very telling of what's going to happen in the next series. And I can't imagine, because Colorado, think about it. Cale Makar, one of the best defensemen in the world, second best defenseman in the world. Can't argue that. Nathan McKinnon, top 3 player in the world, top 4 player in the world. Can't argue that. Taves, one of the best second defensemen in the world. Your goaltender played like one of the best in the world for a majority of that series. Yeah, I mean, you had Nichushkin, you had Brock Nelson, Charlie Coyle, Marty Necas, you got Gabriel Landeskog coming back. You had that bump in game 3. Like, you had everything going for you in this series. And the Stars had a hurt Sagan. He's still hurt, by the way, guys. Like, he's not 100% by any means of the world. Like,
yeah,
he won't be until next season. So just take that with a grain of salt. You had a rough Matt Duchene series. You didn't get too much out of him. He had 3 assists in the series, which all 3 assists were massive assists. So I can't discredit that in any way, shape, or form. But you didn't see the normal Matt Duchene for 7 games. You didn't see Miro Heiskanen at all. You didn't see Jason Robertson at all. I can't imagine what the rest of the Western Conference is feeling right now, because everyone was pissed when the Mikko Rantanen trade happened. They were all trying to make it stop and like make sure it didn't happen. And then it happened and everyone's like, fuck, this sucks. But now you're going to add a top 5 defenseman in the world and your leading goal scorer back into the lineup at some point in round 2. I'm not like overconfident or anything. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs. Anything can happen. But adding those 2 pieces back just gives me so much like relief. I'm at ease when they come back. It's just like, I feel so much better just with them playing. Like, they could play bad, they could play good. Like, but just having them on the ice is one thing. Them performing too on top of that with what Mikko Rantanen and Wyatt Johnston have just done in that series. Scary hours.
Yeah, and it's got to give those boys in that locker room confidence. I mean, Cody Ceci was kind of like a throwaway trade. He was kind of like that guy that just kind of plugged in because, you know, some scouts liked.
Had to.
He has been monumental in keeping games in the same position they were. He's like a unbelievable relief pitcher. Like, so now he gets to step back and really do the only job that he came on this team to do. It's going to be incredible. I mean, yeah,
I wouldn't take him out of the lineup. I'd keep him in.
Oh, no,
I think you maybe keep Lindell and CC together, and then you go Harley Heiskanen. Honestly,
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it.
And then Petro Bichel. Like, I don't know how you take CC out. He was one of the most instrumental defensemen in this series by a long shot. Like, I didn't see that coming based on what we saw in the regular season. I thought he was fine in the regular season. I didn't think he was exceptional. I didn't think he was bad. And then this series, like, he was very good. I wouldn't say he was great. Like, there was a lot of moments where I was like, that wasn't great. But there were so many moments I was like, if he doesn't have the speed, because we're missing so much speed with Miro Heiskanen, like speed and stick handling and getting pucks out. Like, he was doing a lot of that for him. Bichel was doing that, a lot of that for Miro Heiskanen. Like, CC was incredible this series. So getting Heiskanen back is just going to be like, if that's how Jake Oettinger is going to play, and that's how that defense is going to play, imagine how it's going to play with Miro Heiskanen playing and on the defensive line.
This is bad news for the rest of the NHL, dude. The Colorado Avalanche taking this to 7 games, they woke up a monster in the Dallas Stars, and they are going to be, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to earn it. Plain and simple.
Yeah, we're going to preview round 2 later this week, probably Tuesday. I'm going to try to make the trip down to Houston, do a little in-person pod before round 2 gets underway. I would assume it's going to start Wednesday, TBD, obviously, until after tonight with the Winnipeg-St. Louis game 7. That's who we're going to play, Winnipeg or St. Louis in round 2. After that series, I feel so much more confident. Obviously, going into the series, it's like, I don't know how you get it done without them. They could still do it, obviously. They had to win 4 games without Miro Heiskanen and Jason Robertson. They did it. Now, you get one of them back. You get 2 of them back. You can beat anyone in the world. You can beat anyone in the world without them, obviously, after beating that team of Colorado and how good they were and how good Nathan McKinnon was. He had 7 goals in that series. Insane. 11 points. Man, series. What a way to close that out. Mikko Rantanen, hat trick 7 against his former team. You couldn't script it any better. And I'm just excited to see what happens in round 2 now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think even if we don't play until Wednesday, a victory like that is going to burn for until then. Like we're going to feel that momentum. The fans are going to feel it. And I don't care if we have to go to Winnipeg or we stay at home and play St. Louis. Like I'm confident we can pressure anybody.
Did you see the video of them walking into the locker room last night after the handshake line?
I didn't see the video. I've seen Marchman's still frame of the water bottles.
Okay. Yeah. So someone, I think it was Victory Plus, they put it out on their TikTok. I saw this morning. They're all walking into the locker room, all the boys, and except for Mikko. Mikko's doing the post-game presser on the ice, and they're all just screaming, hooting and hollering. Matt Duchene, when he walks in, fucking A, just screams it. Like, everybody's just elated. Jamie Benn's the last one off the ice, obviously. Clearly, he's the captain. That's how it works. He walks in, stone cold. No celebration, no smile. Just like another day just happened. The job is not finished. Everyone understands that. It feels great. And now, after today, I'm not allowing Stars fans to just gloat over this series because there's 3 more series you got to go win to go lift that giant hunk of metal, the Stanley Cup, Lord Stanley. That is the ultimate end goal. You get through today to celebrate because that was a fun-ass series. That was a fun-ass just matchup between 2 teams that hate each other. Then you add the Mikko Rantanen, that add the Gabriel Landeskog, you add the injuries into it. Like, incredible. Celebrate Cup, it's over. On to round 2. On to Cincinnati, as they would say. Yeah, just Jamie Benn was stone cold. Like, no life in his eyes. No smile. No nothing. Just walked right into that locker room. Like, he knows that it's not anywhere near being done. You're a fourth of the way there. You got 3 more series to go win. Walk back in tomorrow. No press, no nothing. Monday, they'll be back for practice on Monday. And I got a team meeting at 10. I got practice at 11. Now it's back to work. It's back to work. And if you get some of those players back, it's going to be a lot of fun. But we'll preview round 2 after we know the results of the Winnipeg-St. Louis series. Try to make it down to Houston so we can do an in-person pod. And, man, that was fun.
Oh, dude, it's that – you were there, I wasn't, but that's got to be – like, I've seen some crazy things. That's up there with some of the craziest.
One of the best things I've ever witnessed in sports, especially in person. Like, regardless if it was in person or not. Like, that was one of the best things I've witnessed in sports. So, Stars win Game 7. Mikko Rantanen hat trick. Wyatt Johnston game-winning goal. Second of his career in Game 7 in the playoffs. And the youngest. He's the only guy to do that at 22 years or younger. So, not a big deal. Wyatt Johnston, Mr. Game 7. Mikko Rantanen hat trick. Stars win. Move on to the second round. When all hope was lost, they are back into round 2. Can't wait to talk about round 2, but thank you to our sponsors. Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. Go drink a few leading into Wednesday. Calm down a little bit. Do some stretching. Maybe do some yard work. Clean the house a little bit. Don't stress about anything just yet till Wednesday. Then you can start stressing again. Get a few days of relief, but shout out to Zing Zang Bloody Mary mix. It's America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang. Zang responsibly. And shout out to Prize Picks. Use code Apollo when you sign up and get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. Prize Picks is our daily fantasy app of choice. Dom, thank you for joining me. Stars fans, enjoy the moment. Back on the mission tomorrow. You can celebrate today, Sunday, May 4th. We'll be back very, very soon. A clean sheet of ice, the Texas Hockey Podcast.